What's up, YouTube? The time is at 2 o'clock in the morning. There is nothing else to do. I have got several requests for that squirrel tail jig. I think January and February we shot a few squirrels, brought them home, ate them, skinned the tails out. I got a red one too, but I'm not really sure right now where it's at. I'll have to find it. We'll try tying up the red one next time. It's not going to tie a whole lot different than any other material you use. You can see that's pretty stiff tail. Not quite as thick as bucktail, but it's going to be a pretty good material to work with. Let's give it a shot and let's see what we got. So we're going to coat that jig head Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails. Use it on all my jigs. I use it for my base coat. I use it to, when I get everything done, to seal the neck up, the thread. We are using a black, really small thread on this one. Because I'm not really sure how thick I'm going to get it or how thick I want it. But I tied a couple of these up yesterday for a friend of mine that was going down to Real Foot Lake to fish. And I'm pretty curious to see how he does with them. And we're going to try something a little bit different than this one that I don't normally do. So, let's give it a shot. The old tree rat jig. That's what I named this one. So we're going to pull out. Let's start with about that much. And we're going to cut it all the way down to where the skin's at in the tail. Let's see what we got. I want to be careful if I want the white in the jig for sure. I want that white tip on that tail. I like that. But I think that's what's really going to kind of set this jig off is the dark contrast in colors. I probably should have wore a different shirt because it's going to look kind of all blended in. But we're going to push all that squirrel tail around that shank of that hook. And like I said, we tied in kind of light. I'm pretty sure I could have added more, but I'd rather have to add more than have to go back in and take some out. Actually wrapped up pretty good. I'm kind of impressed with that. I'm really impressed with that. I like the way I like the contrast in colors. I love that. That black head, brown in the tail, a little bit of black, and the white tips. It's gonna make a pretty good jig. I think pretty sure these are gonna go in my box, and that will give me, I'll show y'all exactly how many jigs I have. That's my box. And that is all I have. So we're gonna add two 16th ounce tree rat jigs to my box. All right, we're gonna put a little bit of flash in it, and I think we're gonna use silver, and I'm not gonna use very much at all. I'm gonna use one little piece because I'm really wanting more of the dark color jig in this one. And later on I can always go back and cut that flash off if I need to, but I don't really think there'd ever be a reason to. Everybody see Grub's awake. See, he's made his camera debut several times over my shoulder. He's painting jig heads tonight. So I'm kind of cross between, do I want to use this olive chenille? Do I want to use this two-tone? So actually that camera on that kind of helps me decide what I want to use. And I think we're going to go with this olive. I think we're going to try it first. See how it comes out. It's an olive, pretty sure it's small chenille. We're going to wrap it down to the tip of the hook. And we're going to go right back to the head, all the way up to the tip of the head. So let's get that coated right there. It's a big glob of it to fill right there. And then we're gonna wrap this baby. Some black fuzzy something in there. Let's strap it down with our thread. Pull it back over on the other side. Get it nice and tight. That right there is kind of your wrap that you want as tight as you can get it. We're going to clip that off right there. Now what I want to do, I want to put a little more white up there. So I'm going to go back to my squirrel tail. And I'm going to cut out a piece about 1.25 inches long, about that much. We're going to pull out all of our loose strands, front and back, because sometimes with animal hair, you got a little bit of short ones that are still in there too. All right, so now we're going to pinch that real close right there in our fingers. We're going to lay it right there on the neck of the jig head. We're going to wrap that down. I don't like it.
No?
No, I think I should have left a little bit of a gap right there between the head and the body and then tied it in.
That's cool.
I'll tell you what, let's unwrap what we got. Let's go a little bit shorter. Maybe that's what I'm seeing. Maybe it needs to be just a little bit shorter. And this is the reason my lovely wife won't let me do this up in the house, because I end up with marabou, bucktail all over the place, and I'm pretty sure she wouldn't be very happy about squirrel hair. All right, let's try that one more time and see if that looks any better. Yay or nay? What do you think? I'm still kind of at the point where I don't really like it. What do you think?
Cool.
You think so?
Yeah.
So if I finish this one up, you're going to fish with this one.
Yeah, it looks cool.
All right. We'll call this Zach's tree rat jig head. And we're going to pull that down in there pretty tight. We're going to put a whip finish on it, and since I've got so much exposed thread there, I'm pretty sure I'm going to use the UV resin on it. Let's do one more. So let's take a vote. Everybody that watches this video, is this jig better without the beard or better with the beard? We'll let them make the call. We'll see what they say.
Yeah.
So we are going to go with the UV resin to harden that neck down. Little bitty paintbrush. And you don't want to go super heavy with the UV resin. Pretty much just got enough on there to wet all those bristles, and we're just going to brush it on. And then to clean that resin off, I use straight pure acetone, 100%, and it will get that resin off your brush. Sometimes I use that to put resin on with. So let's get the light out, put it on the light for a minute or so. But you can see, you know, I've done something different tonight that I don't normally do. Experiment with things. You know, you never know how it's going to turn out. This might be the best jig I've ever tied. This might be my #1 producing jig when it comes to catching crappie. And it might not. But we're going to let him fish it since he said he wanted the one with the beard. Yeah, you did. And usually if you got that UV resin on thin, usually like 30 seconds. And it's already hardened up. So let's take a look at it. Let's kind of dissect it a little bit and see what we think. To me, I think it's better without the beard. But in a way, it's kind of cool with the beard. But that's it. You can see squirrels are pretty abundant everywhere you go. When squirrel season's in, shoot a few. Cut that tendon or cartilage or whatever it is out of the tail. Just take a knife, slice it down it, pull it out. Brush in some borax. 3-mule borax is what I used in that. Just covered that whole spot right there. After I've scraped all the fat, all the meat out of it, put that borax in there, let it sit for 3 or 4 days. It don't stink anymore. Squirrels are everywhere, so think about that. Get back in the woods with 22 rifle. Take your kids out squirrel hunting. Save the tails. Comes in pretty handy. I tied a pretty neat looking jig. We ate, I think we shot 5 squirrels that day. We ate them all. We saved the tail. The next ones I tie, I'll do it with the red squirrels. We'll see how much better they look. But that is all I got, YouTube. Like I said, let me know what you think. With the beard, without the beard. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Let me know if you got any questions, anything you want to see, anything in particular you want me to tie up. I've been getting requests for this jig for quite a while, and I put it off, but there it is. The tree rat jig, the bearded tree rat jig. And that is all I got, YouTube. You guys have a good night. Stay tuned. I'm going to start doing some videos in the old Champion. We nicknamed it Frankenstein because of the old 2-stroke. But we're going to start doing some videos in the boat with the jigs, hopefully with some crappies, some white bass. We'll see how that turns out. It should be coming up in the next few weeks. Thanks, everybody, for subscribing, and we will catch you later.